You finally admitted that you want to leave nursing. I know how scary that moment can feel because once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. But here's the thing, knowing that you actually want something different is one thing, but actually knowing what to do next is a whole nother ball game. And this is where so many nurses get stuck. So if you feeling stuck in that exact space, you don't know what to do next, but you know you can't keep going the same way that you're going. This final part of the Burnout Mini Series is for you. So if you're new here, my name is Mel. I'm a former registered nurse. I was once where you are currently. And I know how lonely it feels. I know how confusing it feels. I know how overwhelming it can feel to feel like you know you've outgrown this current situation, this current career you're in, but to be scared to move, to feel stuck, to feel confused, to feel like you don't want to waste all of the time, energy, and effort that you put into becoming a nurse. But honestly, this video couldn't have come at a better time because we are just a few days away from 2026. This is really your moment to make a different decision for yourself. One that the 2026 version of you is going to thank you for. We're going to talk about what to actually do next because this is the part that keeps so many nurses stuck for way too long. And this is the part that so many nurses avoid because that fear kicked in. So the first step is to start learning how to regulate your nervous system. That can be as simple as you being conscious throughout the day of the breaths that you're taking, slowing down intentionally, allowing yourself to take days off and to not pick up so much overtime if you're somebody who picks up overtime. Really just learning to breathe and be present in your body at different parts of the day, whether you gotta go run on a bathroom break, breathe while you're in the bathroom, do whatever it takes to start learning to regulate your nervous system. And I can remember I started my healing journey. I started dabbling into learning how to regulate my nervous system when I was practicing as a nurse too. And I started learning different self-care practices and strategies. This is the first step to you really stepping into a new chapter with the clear mind. If you try to go at it with this nurse brain that you currently have, with this burnout, this overwhelm, all these things going on in the top of your head, because you got a lot going on. Everywhere you go, you're just going to keep recreating from the same burnout mindset that you currently have. You're just going to keep repeating the same survival mode patterns if you try to create from the current state that you're in. And that's what we don't want to happen. So learn to sit still, even if it's for a minute each day. Just practice different things that make you feel regulated, that make you feel calm, that make you feel safe within your body, because this will make a huge difference. Clarity really does come the moment that you learn to feel safe, the moment that you learn to sit with yourself, the moment that you learn to take time for yourself, even if it's in little spurts, all of that will compound. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is to really get honest with yourself about what is not working, about what feels misaligned in your current nursing role. So once you do that, you can get clear about what you actually want, what will actually work for you. So what's not working for you? Did you lose passion for your your role as a nurse? Did you used to be excited to go in, but now you dread your shifts? Do you feel like every time you start a new job, you feel good at first, you feel hopeful, and then eventually you hit a burnout cycle? Do you take work home with you? What is it? Be specific and really honest about what you no longer feel aligned with. This is key information for what you can't take with you in your new chapter, which you have to learn how to heal through so that you can have a new chapter that doesn't repeat these same cycles. So, what parts of nursing feel unsustainable for you right now? What parts of nursing are you like, oh no, I don't want to be responsible for this? For instance, for me, when I kept hopping from nurse role to nurse role, I came to this conclusion that I didn't want to feel the pressure that I felt that came with being responsible for other people's lives. Because that's a lot of pressure. And especially when I worked at the bedside, when I worked in the ICU, that's a lot of pressure. Okay. And even in my roles in nursing that weren't the bedside, like I still was indirectly responsible for, I played a part in the responsibility of someone's well-being, their health, right? So I knew for me after a while, like that felt misaligned for me and I didn't want to have to be, I didn't want to hold that responsibility. So that's just an example. And I want you to really get clear and honest about where you've been self abandoning. Have you been picking up overtime? Have you been numbing your emotions? Have you been staying busy just so that you don't have to feel what's really going on internally? Where's your body saying that enough is enough? Where's your body like telling you that something needs to change? For me in nursing, my body used to hurt a lot. I used to have a lot of aches. I used to have a lot of pains, especially like in my back area, my legs. I just used to be achy. After I left nursing, after I did all my healing, after I started learning to regulate my nervous system, doing different things, doing the things that I needed to do in order to heal myself deeply, layer by layer, the pain dissolved. So right now you're carrying so much. And a lot of people don't know that the mental overwhelm, the mental exhaustion that you carry definitely gets transferred into your physical body. It gets trapped in your physical body and it expresses itself as pain. So step 3 is to really get clear on your next aligned step to get clarity. Okay? So this doesn't look like random Google searches at 2 a.m. Random Google searches about remote jobs. What jobs do nurses go into after nursing? Not random searches like that, because that is going about it the long way or the hard way or the way that doesn't really give you enough certainty, enough confidence to actually take the step towards that new direction because it's too general. That's why a lot of times you do a bunch of research and you dig and you look into remote jobs, you look into content creation, if you into entrepreneurship roles, you look into all these different things, but there's no movement, there's no action. You continue to stay exactly where you are, or you feel overwhelmed in your research process because you done went through this whole phase of research in this deep tunnel and you didn't get anywhere. It's feeling like you just going in circles. The same type of jobs are popping up. These generic random lists for nurses are popping up that don't have anything to do with you. People are telling you to do this, this, and this that don't have nothing to do with who you are as a person and your true personality, your true values, and all those things. So I just want you to breathe because just talking about it feels overwhelming. So, what do we do to avoid that? Be open minded. And then you have to allow yourself to follow your curiosity. And if you're not curious about anything, allow yourself to experiment with things that pique your interest even slightly. So I want to say, so most nurses only consider the quote unquote safe options when they're in this phase. But I want you to have such an open mind that you're willing to try almost anything. Not anything, but you're willing to try things that you maybe thought you would never try, right? Like, for instance, when I was first introduced to hypnotherapy, that wasn't on my radar at all. I knew absolutely nothing about it, but I was curious and I followed that curiosity and I became certified as a hypnotherapist, started a hypnotherapy business, helped so many people heal and learn things about themselves and create better lives for themselves, all because I followed that curiosity. So I say that to say that your next chapter might not look exactly how you expect it. It might not look like the quote unquote safe option. It might not look like going back to school to get another degree in something else. So just keep an open mind. And I want you to know that you absolutely do not need the whole plan. You don't need a 20-year plan. All you need is your next step that is in alignment with your personality, your values, and the direction that you actually want to go in. So that's exactly why I created my Nurse to New Chapter AI Bestie, so that you can explore the paths that are actually in alignment with who you are as a person underneath all the burnout and where you actually want to go outside of nursing, without all the guessing, without all the rabbit holes of research and just randomly Googling stuff and throwing spaghetti at the wall. Link below for that if you want to check it out. So step 4, this is the part where your new life actually begins. And this is such an exciting part. I know a lot of people, a lot of nurses get scared around this part. They feel fear around this part. I know because I used to be that nurse. Even though I knew that I didn't want to stay in nursing long term, I still felt fear because the next chapter was unknown. The next chapter was new. So fear came with that, but I didn't let it stop me. So this is where you really have to learn to overcome the fear. Do it anyway. What you do next really determines whether you keep repeating the same old burnout cycles or whether you finally break the cycle. So this is where, and this is why, clarity, support, inner work, this is why it really matters, because you don't want to keep repeating the same patterns from nursing. You don't want to keep bringing stuff with you from nursing into your new chapters. You get to create a new life for yourself. You get to create a life that you love on your own terms. You get to give yourself permission to pivot. You get to give yourself permission to try something new. You're the author of your life. So you really get to rewrite your story in this part. And I'm so excited. Like, I always get hyped and excited when I talk about this because it's such an exciting journey. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm helping you, guide you through this process. I know what's on the other side of that fear. I know what's on the other side when you finally walking in your confidence, you finally owning your decision to leave nursing, to start something new. You finally feeling aligned in life, feeling good within your body, feeling good within your mind, mentally healthy, physically healthy, emotionally healthy. So you need a framework that helps you really build the confidence that you need to own this decision with your whole chest, to feel confident in your decision. If you need help with that, my Confidence to Quit Nursing signature program helps you do exactly that. It helps you overcome the fear that comes when you transition out of nursing into a new chapter. So once you understand the different layers, the different things that are going on as you go through this journey, as you go through this process, that is when you stop waiting for permission. You stop getting everybody else's agreement about your life and what it is that you're doing. That's the moment you stop doubting yourself and you finally start trusting yourself again. And once you take those actions that are in alignment with all of that newness and those new beliefs and all that healing and everything that you'll go through as you go through this process, you'll finally start to feel like you again. You'll rediscover yourself in ways that you can't even imagine. Is that juicy? Is that good? This journey. This journey is that good. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, if anything I said resonated with you, if even one thing that I said resonated with you, definitely do yourself a favor. Go back and watch, if you haven't already, go back and watch part 1, 2, and 3 of this series because you are in for a treat. And if you already watched it and this is the final one that you're watching, thank you so much for coming back. I really hope that you felt seen, you felt understood, and that you know that you absolutely are supported throughout this journey and this process. And if you truly feel ready for that deeper support, that deeper emotional support, that deeper support that you need along this journey, I would really just love to be that support for you that I wish was there for me when I was exactly where you are. The link to my Confidence to Quit Nursing signature program is in the description box. And again, if you want to know what personalized options you have outside of nursing, personal to your journey, personal to who you truly are, what you truly want, then definitely grab my Nurse to New Chapter AI Bestie. That link is down below in the description too. It's about to be a new year. Let's go. I'm super excited about 2026 and just all the newness and the fresh energy that is in store for us that's coming. So, what will you decide for yourself? Are you going to walk into this new year as a new you, like a true new you, a regulated new you, a you who chooses herself, who gives herself permission to pivot? Or are you going to fall back into old patterns? Are you going to fall back into what's familiar just because you're scared? If you need to work through that fear, I got you. So this is literally your sign. Not to carry the same burnout, the same fear, the same guilt, the same feeling of being stuck with you into 2026. Don't do it. You don't have to carry that into 2026. you get to choose something else. You get to choose something new.